Hi everyone, it's Friday, September 23rd, 2016 at 10:58 p.m. And oh my god, look at my nips! Yas! Look at those little fuckers. Anyway, so today I'm going to discuss guy code. This has been a theme that has been popping up into my life for the past 2 weeks, but really a lot this week. As we all know, women and men are socialized very differently. There is certain behavior that is acceptable amongst women, and there is certain behavior that is acceptable among men. The first example that comes to mind to me is touching and showing affection. Women are more prone and open to being expressive, such as hugging, rubbing each other's backs, playing with their hair, holding hands even. Things like that, whereas guys don't really give each other hugs and shit like that. It's mostly like a cordial handshake or like a pat on the back. And I found this really last year when my first year out as trans when I was at school, that there are certain behaviors that I can't engage in anymore, or I shy away from because I don't know how they're going to be perceived as me identifying as a male. I've gotten in trouble with some of my classmates by making comments about their chests and stuff like that I was told are not appropriate for me to be making as a male. So it's really fucking confusing to be in this weird transitional spot where I don't know what's acceptable. I had to ask one of my friends the other day how to do like the bro handshake, because every time someone does that to me, I feel like I'm doing it wrong and I feel so uncomfortable. You know the handshake I'm talking about, where you go in and you go boom and I don't know, man. It's really fucking stressful, and like the fact that I had to ask someone to like practice this with me just shows how inept I am. And I hate that I can't just like play with my lady friend's hair anymore. Like before, I used to like be able to like rub a friend's back and like play with their hair, but now like I can't do those things anymore because I don't want to be considered creepy. I don't want to make a girl uncomfortable. I don't want it to have a sexual undertone. Like I want to be able to interact the way that I want to without it being questioned. I had this really hair. I had this really awkward situation at my job like a month ago where I had a really bad itch in the middle of my back that I couldn't itch. And so I thought like, do I ask someone to itch this for me? So I ended up asking a cook at the restaurant. I was like, hey man, can you itch my back? Like I can't reach it. And he's like, dude, I'm a bro. But then he like did it anyway, but he was so awkward about it. And then I just felt so bad and I kept apologizing. And I was like, I'm sorry, like I'm still learning what is and isn't acceptable. And I fucking learned that, like, don't ask a bitch to scratch your back because apparently you can't do that. So I'm just really struggling in my life and really this week to fit in with the boys. Here's the situation. Here's my social situation. I go to a very small acting conservatory. There are 30 of us in my class. I want to say there's maybe 12 men, including myself. And of the men that go to my school, they're all in their 20s and they're, playful and eccentric and all of this shit. Just young guys. And I don't know, there's just a fucking wall and a disconnect that I don't connect with. I am trying to find a way in and I can't do it. I'm fucking lost. I don't know. I just, like, it's really awful. I just feel so alone at that school. I don't fit in with the guys, and I'm not close with the girls, so I'm just kind of like fucking floating around like an amorphous blob, like, just trying to like stay afloat in this rough sea that is the conservatory that I go to, because it's a very difficult and demanding school. I just feel like I'll never fit in. Like, I have one cis male friend outside of school. And the other people, I don't hang out with a lot of people. Like, real talk, I don't consider myself to have a whole lot of friends. And of the friends that I have, they're mostly women. And, like, none of them live in this state, so I don't really hang out with a lot of people. So, just, like, of the guy friends that I have at school, they're not, like, friends that I necessarily hang out with outside of school, except for maybe grabbing a drink after class when it's the weekend. But, like, I just feel like they're on another plane than I am, and I don't know how to catch up. And I just asked someone, I said, do you think there's a guy code? And he said, yes, there's a guy code and a girl code. And I was like, well, I feel like I'll never fit in. And he said something really beautiful, and he said, remember, you're still playing catch-up. And I think that's really beautiful, because I was talking to my therapist about this today, and she was basically saying the exact same thing, that, like, they've had their whole lives to be socialized as male, and I am just beginning to step into that realm. I need to be a lot nicer to myself and realize I shouldn't have to have this all figured out. It's been a fucking year that I've been out. Almost 2 years. 2 years in January. Like, these boys have had 24 years to understand how to interact with other men. And here I am, this little kid, like, learning at 26 how to be a man. Like, that's fucking stressful. Like, being trans is hard. It's fucking stressful. Having to learn a new set of rules and new ways to interact with people is really not fun, and I wouldn't recommend it to anybody. 10 out of 10, don't do. But it's just really isolating at school, because I'm in a class with 6 guys that are really boisterous and rambunctious and outgoing and energetic. And I just feel like this, I don't know. I just, mood change. I just feel like I don't fit in with people at my school, and I really don't think I fit with the guys. And it just makes me wonder, like, is this going to be the narrative for the rest of my life? Am I always going to feel other from cis men? I don't know. I don't think so. I mean, what the fuck do I know? I have no idea. It could always feel like this. I don't know. But at this point, it's very uncomfortable. It's isolating. I feel lonely. I feel like a loner. I feel like an outcast. And I just want to be let in. Like, I just, I think people respect, I mean, people respect my identity. I don't know deep down if people see me as male or they just think of me as something else. I don't know. And really that isn't any of my concern. I don't need to worry about that. But I don't know. I just want to be one of the guys. I'm misgendered every day. I even get misgendered by teachers that know my pronouns, and I don't know. I just want to be seen as who I am by the world, but I also want to know how to interact in the world of manhood, I guess. I don't want to have to be questioning in my head whether or not I can touch a guy friend, because I don't want to seem gay or, like, cross a line. I don't want that voice in the back of my head saying, like, don't do this because it might be perceived as whatever. In the beginning of my transition, I tried to make sure that I didn't come off as gay or feminine by being aware of the way that I talked and trying to lessen my hand gestures. And I've given up on that. Like, whatever. I don't know. I guess I just need to remember that I'm playing catch-up. And, I don't know. Nothing's going to happen overnight. I think I just need to sit with where I am. And that's all I can really do.